All right. So investing, building that portfolio from the $10,000 start to the $100,000 start, obviously growing the allocation in that account, whether it's an IRA, whether it's just a Vanguard fund account, whatever it may be. Allocating that money yearly allows you to see a almost 5x plus greater return over the years, right? So you might say to me, is it possible for me, even when my income is strapped, to be able to put that money into that account? First of all, I'd say anything's possible, and if you really want it, there's so many different ways out there without going to the stock market that you can figure out how to allow yourself to grow that money, all right? Whether it's, I've found very, very seriously now ways to, recently sell off stuff that my parents wanted out of their attic on eBay and make a little bit here or there. I mean, there's just all kinds of hustles that you can do, right? But stock market specifically, I'm not going to tell you that you certainly can do it, but I am going to show you how I'm doing it. Whether it's $6,000 or $100,000 a year, all trading is when you get really able to see the system setups, the discipline, you're repeating the process month in, month out with the same setups, basically. So the only change is not generally the return, 20, 30, 40%, whatever it is, the money going in. And so once you build up an account to where you're putting no longer $1,000 in a trade, but $10,000, well, a 20% return is $2,000, right? But then you grow that same account to $100,000, that 20% return becomes $20,000. Then you grow that same account to $1 million, and you can do $1 million trades in indexes, especially. Okay, well, that same 20% is $200,000. And we were talking about throwing in $100,000 a year. Now you may say it's going to take me years to be able to get that kind of account growth to where I can trade with that kind of level of expertise. I would literally be sick to my stomach putting that in a trade. I understand. But when you say that, first realize that there are mutual fund managers out there, especially hedge fund managers out there that with people's money are trading $30, $40, $100 million at a time. They're the same man that you and I are, same woman that you are, same brain. All they have is what? Mindset built up and discipline that's a little bit stronger, that's built up over time. So you can't get there. You can allow yourself with the right plan. I'm doing this 5-year plan where, yes, it is aggressive because I'm doing at minimum 2 or 3, maximum 8 trades a month, getting 25% gains per trade. And there's no losses allocated in this plan. And so I'm going to have those. But at the same time, there's no gains greater than 25%. Whereas I have gains all the time that are 40, 50, 60%. So the losses, as long as I cut them short, and the gains that are greater than 25 will outweigh it. So the math will still work out. If I do over the next year, 12 months, 12-month rolling period, 8 trades times 12, 80, 8 times 2, 16, so 96 trades. If I do that starting with $2,500 and I grow my trade size every month from 1,000 to at the end 8,000, I can have $100,000 in cash waiting to go into that account that we talked about before at the end of the first year after paying taxes. And my account will have grown to $35,000. And now the next year, I'm not starting back with $2,000. I'm starting with $35,000. and I'm putting $10,000 trades on year, right? I mean, month in, month out. And so I'm growing that money. And so if the first year I had 100, the next year, the math works out to, I've got about $300,000, 215, 214. And then I can grow that. So the money is there for you to learn to grab it for yourself. And then I'll just go ahead and finish this plan. 3 years in, you're doing $100,000 trades, but your profits are $40,000. And at the end of the third year, you can have over $450,000 in a cash account. That's my plan. Doesn't mean you can do it. My results are not typical. But I just want you to see that starting an investment account and adding in $6, $10, $20, $100,000 a year is not out of the question once you add on the trading portion to your growth as a CEO. If you just invest, you're going to be way better off than everybody else. But if you trade too, I believe you're going to really, over time, enjoy your results and see that life gets really good when outside of your income, you're able to pay for trips. You're able to buy a car with cash. You're able to get a new suit or, whatever, guitar that you paid for, not out of your income, just using the stock market as your ATM, basically. And I know I'm making it sound easier than it is. I know I'm putting a fluffy cloud kind of mentality onto trading. This plan takes, here's the reality of it, 2 hours a day of study to make work. It took me a year and some change to put this plan together, running numbers to see how I could make it work. And on top of that, once these 5 years are over with, I'm not going to stop trading, so I've got to keep working. But I do plan to have over $900,000, probably closer to $1 million, that I have taken out of the market as investment capital to start something I plan to start down the road. Now, imagine if you did that and 5 years out of your life, you had to work really hard, but you were able to pull out $100,000 or more from the market to start your investment journey. Or to add to your investment journey. I shouldn't say to start because I just told you earlier, don't trade if you haven't started investing. So I shouldn't say start. To add the fire, to add the fuel. Once you get good at this, life, looking at it, it becomes different, especially money-wise. You start to think in terms of not how do I get something or how much, or in terms of lack. You start to see where your money that you don't need anymore can start helping other people. And it actually makes you, in my opinion, a more charitable individual. So with that, that's what I got for you. It kind of wraps up this portion of talking about trading, how to outperform the stock market, how to outperform investments that your mom and dad may have done that you want more. It steps: foundation, investing, then trading. You add it together, and then you start looking at maybe investing in other things that are a little bit more risky, but you've already got your money working for you over here, and we'll talk about that on another Rob review. I'm your friend of success. We'll see you soon.
The views and opinions expressed in this program or any other Rob Review program are not to be considered financial advice, and all these strategies have their own inherent risk. If you act on information given in this show, you are doing so at your own financial risk. Map.Productions does not take part in your positive or negative financial results. That is why I recommend you consult your financial advisor before acting on any of these tips. What worked for Robbie may not work for you exactly as shown in the show.